are live.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Before I share the screen with you guys, let me just tell you a little bit about what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
So in his introduction, he talked about, verbs and nouns.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of gave you an example of that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Today I want to give you an example of something else, which is about stress. And I'm not talking about stress like I stress you out every day, like in class, like this, not like, especially Maria when I stress her out and stuff, right? Like huara'a, which you did really well. Huara'a is one of the hard verb conjugations in Arabic, and Maryam destroyed it today. It was a great thing to see.
With the help of Ahmed too, with the motivation I gave her.
He's very motivating. Like, see how motivating he sounds right now? You're about as motivating as...
Nah, but you could turn the speech I gave her into a quote, Steve Jobs, with the Apple or whatever, he made a good quote or whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm the next Steve Jobs.
No, go ahead. Give me that speech.
Sahar, you can do this. It doesn't matter. You're smarter than me. You're a Benz.
I love that when you were saying that, a garbage truck went by.
No, real though. Maryam, Sahar, you're smarter than me. You're a Benz. I'm a BMW. Mustafa's a Toyota. No offense to him though. You're better than me. So you're smarter than me.
There was an offense to him. Okay, yeah.
I said I'm a BMW.
Yeah, but you called him a Toyota. And then you said no offense to him.
Yeah.
After calling him a Hyundai.
Yeah.
Used.
You're smarter. You just need to get over that fear and you'll be better than everybody. Amen.
You added an amen at the end of that?
Yeah.
And what did she do? Hallelujah!
Nah, she was like, I.
Maryam, did that speech help?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was actually my dad or my mom who gave her that speech. She says, you're a Benz, Faro's a Toyota, I'm a Jeep, and then Mustafa was a Toyota, so.
Oh, Mustafa didn't get his feelings hurt when your mom said that?
He wasn't there. And it was just an analogy.
Then it's okay. Then you can just call him a bicycle at that point.
Nah,
Not that he's going to watch this video or anything.
No, it's he's not a Toyota. He's that new Camry that came out. He's like that. That car is nice. I would actually buy one.
I was thinking maybe a Supra, but no, okay. Want to go with Camry? That's okay.
Dude, Camrys are the best.
They are not.
So they last you for so long.
Stop hurting my feelings. Okay. So today we're going to talk about stress. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by stress is the following. Let me give you a silly example so you understand what I'm talking about. If I say this is good ice cream. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
If I said this is good ice cream, then I have described the ice cream as good.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really stress it. But if I said this, for sure, this is good ice cream. Right? Then I have added for sure as an added stress on the statement I've made.
Yeah.
But if I actually took the word good and made it capital, for sure this is good ice cream, then there's two stressors here. This is two above normal. There's two things that make this above normal. What are the two things? The for sure in the beginning and the stress on the word good.
Yeah.
Right? That's two above normal. But if I say for sure, this is incredible ice cream, then I would say that this is 3 above normal. Why? 1, I added for sure. 2, I was stressing the word incredible. 3, instead of using the word good, I upgraded the word and used what? Incredible.
Yeah.
Right? So which one is the most emphatic? It's this third one, because it's using 3 stressors, 3 emphasizers. You get it? So this concept of you can say something and you can stress it more and stress it more and stress it more. This is done in Arabic for some really specific reasons, but this is called, the Arabic word for it is tawkid, emphasis. Okay, and it's not just about this is 2x and this is 3x and this is a higher score than that one. It's actually a pretty interesting and intricate study why this is done and when this is done and how much of it is done and for what purpose. But that's not the goal today. The goal is to show you something really simple, easy to understand that I think everybody can appreciate. So let me zoom in on the Arabic. These are 3 different ayat from 3 different places in the Quran. And I'm going to make the layout so that you can see the screen in its entirety. Where's the view? The web layout. This is already a web layout. Why is it 100%? There we go. That's better. Okay. So the first one of them is بل عجبوا أن جاءهم منذر منهم فقال الكافرون, and then the statement ends هذا شيء عجيب. A little bit smaller so we can see better. Okay. This is هذا شيء عجيب. This is a strange thing. Hada is the mubtada. You guys have learned this before,
Yes.
right? For our audiences, I'm going to grammar test them as we go. Shay'un ajibun. What do you think is the grammar between shay'un and ajibun? What do you think? That's right. It's a mawsuf sifa. Okay. So this is a noun adjective. Let me translate this red part for you, for everybody, right? So they know what we're talking about too. So they don't feel as bad as you know, super elite Muslims who know what a mawsuf sifa is and are better than everybody because you're like, you know, clearly superior, because knowledge makes us arrogant and better than others, because that's the purpose of learning, right? That's good. Okay. Also sarcasm. Okay. This is a strange thing. So in Surah 50, ayah number 2, we're reading an ayah that ends with, this is a strange thing. Okay. Then we're looking at Surah Hud, ayah number 72. This is Surah number 11, ayah number 72. And I'm going to make this part red again. And in this red part, inna, this is not the same as hada. This is what? Inna hada.
Yeah.
So what does inna mean?
Certainly, or
Certainly.
indeed.
So the mubtada is more emphasized now,
Yeah.
right? And then shay'un ajib is not just shay'un ajib, it is what?
La shay'un.
La shay'un. This is called the lam of tawqid, lam of emphasis, right? Because it didn't make a jar.
Yeah.
So how many extra stressors are there?
There is 2.
Yeah. So this is actually closer to, for sure, this is a truly strange thing. Or a really strange thing. There's a really here. Okay? So what I'm saying is there are two more stressors that were added. What are the 2 stressors that were added in English? For sure. And what else?
This is really.
Really. Compared to this one. I'm comparing it to this one.
Yeah.
Right? So the Quran used this one, and now it's using this one.
Yeah.
More stress, right? But it's really saying the same thing. So why is it using more stress? But let's keep going. Let's look at this one. 38:5. Inna hadha la shay'un ajab. This, should I say for sure this or just this? Inna hadha.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly this.
Or we'll just say for sure.
Okay.
Because we've been using that one. Okay? For sure, this is a really, really strange. Hold on. Strange. Yeah. Thing. I hope you see what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah.
I made the word strange. You see, the word for strange is ajib.
Yeah.
But in this ayah, a strange word for strange was used, which is what? Hujab, which makes it even stranger. So how many stressors are there? For sure is one stressor. The la really is a second stressor. And then using a stranger word for strange is a third stressor.
Yeah.
So this one is 3x. So there's 1x regular. This is a strange thing.
Yeah.
Then there's 2 more stressors, and then there's 3 more stressors, right? And in his introduction, he talked about how every time you have speech in the Quran and Allah stresses something or de-stresses something, there is a reason behind it. There's something going on, right? So let's look at the first one. They found it strange that a warner came to them. So therefore disbelievers said, this is a strange thing.
Mhm.
Let me tell you why they found it strange. A warner in ancient Arabia was someone who came from outside the village, beyond the valley,
Mhm.
and said, enemies are approaching. You guys don't know? I know, because I've been on the other side of the mountain.
Mhm.
Someone would have to go outside to get a warning that nobody else has,
Mhm.
right? If you live among them and you wake up one day and say, warning,
Mhm.
enemy approaching, bro, you were sleeping in the basement. Like,
Yeah.
well, how are you getting a warning?
Mhm.
You you have to have news from the outside to have a warning. You understand?
Yeah.
The Prophet ﷺ is living among them,
Mhm.
but the warning is coming from very far away, isn't it? It's coming from the heavens.
Mhm.
So they're like, how are you sitting among us and you got this warning?
Mhm.
This is weird. He's warning us of the day of judgment and nations being destroyed and all this. How is he getting this information? He's never left town.
Mhm.
He's been here this whole time, and now all of a sudden he's like, got all these warnings.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So because he's from among them, they found it strange. So this is one thing they found strange, right?
Mhm.
And so this is a regular 1x, you know, this is a strange thing.
Yeah.
How can you have someone among us and he is like this? Okay. Now, this is now the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Mm.
Okay. She says the angels came to her house. 3 angels came to her house,
Mhm.
and they didn't look like angels, right?
Mhm.
And they looked like 3 young men. And they
Mhm.
knocked on the door. Ibrahim alayhi salam opened the door, and they, he said salam, and they
Mhm.
said salam, and he said, Qawmun munkarun. He said, I don't know you people.
Mhm.
They didn't really say much. Now Ibrahim alayhi salam is hospitable, so he's going to invite them in and he's going to sit them down and he's going to feed them. Right? Let me tell you the story while you're not staring at the screen for now. So he's going to feed them, right? And
Mhm.
the thing is, back in the day, the assassins
Yeah.
had a creed,
Mhm.
not like the game, but like they actually had a creed, and the creed was that if we are here to kill you, we won't eat your food.
Mm.
It was against the honor of the assassin to eat the food of the one they're going to kill.
Mhm.
Ibrahim alayhi salam goes in the back, slaughters a ijlin samin. He slaughters a calf, like a baby cow,
Mhm.
skins the animal, cuts the meat, barbecues the thing, makes the whole grill. Because these young men have been traveling, they're hungry, right?
Yeah.
Young men, when they travel, what's the only thing on their mind?
Food.
Food. Like if you're on a road trip,
Mhm.
every few minutes, there's a sign. There's a sign,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's an ayah from Allah. Like
Mhm.
that's what you're thinking about. So they're thinking about the food. And so he comes with the
Mhm.
food, he puts it in front of them, and they won't eat it.
Mhm.
أَلَا تَأْكُلُونَ? You're not going to eat? Now he realizes, if they're not going to eat, what does that mean?
We got assassins.
3 of them, me, an old man, and my wife.
Yeah.
This is not looking good. فَأَوْجَسَ مِنْهُمْ خِيفَةً. So he started getting a sense of real fear from them. Like they're going to kill me now.
Mhm.
So they said, "La la takhaf." No, we didn't come here to kill you. You got that wrong. We came here to tell you you're going to have a baby boy.
Mm.
We're angels from Allah. We came to give you. Sorry, we messed up here. We didn't eat your food, and we thought no. This is not the coming of death. This is the coming of life. Actually, you're gonna have a baby boy,
Mhm.
right? And then Ibrahim alayhis salam was pretty smart. He's like, nah, that can't be it. I can't. There's no way Allah sends 3 angels to tell me about a baby that's coming.
Mm.
What are you really here for? Ma khatbukum ayyuhal mursalun. What's your real mission?
Mm.
And the angels are like, oh, he got us. Yeah, well, congratulations on the baby, and we're here to kill everyone in the nation of Lut.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's a pit stop. Like they had a dual mission, like congratulate on the baby, and then go destroy the nation of Lut. And Ibrahim was like, I knew it. And so he starts arguing with them. There's a whole story behind that, right? So
that took a dark turn.
Yeah, it took a real dark turn, right? So anyway, but that's not the part of the story I wanted to highlight. So he says, the angels say you're going to have a baby. Relax, we're not here to kill you. We're here to kill someone else. That's not.
We got a different mission.
Yeah, we're no killers of you. So when they do that, فَأَقْبَلَتْ امْرَأَتُهُ فِي صَرَّةٍ. In another surah, his wife slapped her face, and she's like, ha! Like, because she's an old lady, right?
Mhm.
And he's a really old man.
Mhm.
and they've never had a child. She couldn't have a child even when she was young.
Mhm.
So when she heard them say that you're gonna have a baby, this is talked about a few times in the Quran. She said, "Ya wailata, oh my,
Mm.
alidu, I'm gonna give birth.
Mm.
Wa ana ajuz." First of all, because I could never give birth to begin with anyway,
Mhm.
and now that I'm an old lady,
Mhm.
so the first thing that makes this strange, extra strange, the normal. If this was one degree of strangeness, you said this is a strange thing.
Mhm.
This is the first thing it should be strange for is because she's a woman who couldn't give birth to begin with,
Yeah.
right? So that would have been hada shay'un ajib.
Mhm.
Now she adds one more thing to make it stranger.
Mm.
One extra stress.
Yeah.
What's the extra stress? Ana ajuz. I'm an old woman.
Mhm.
Not only could I not bear, I'm an old. So that's now one extra.
Mhm.
Okay. Then she says, and on top of that, hada ba'li shaykhan, and this is my husband who is now in his old age.
Mhm.
How many extra strange things did she add? Two. Look at the ayah. Inna hada la shay'un ajib.
Mhm.
There are two extras added to the strangeness.
Mhm.
There's two extras added to the strangeness because there's two extra statements here that add to the strangeness. You see that?
Yeah.
In this one, there was one strange thing. A warner came,
Mhm.
so it's just plain strange. Here, it's strange, but then there's two more additions to the strangeness, and so this is strange, but there are two more emphasizers to the strangeness. Isn't that amazing?
Mhm.
And then we get to the last one. Let me open up some more ayat of Surah Sad.
It's like a really dark trend though. Like
Oh yeah, that's a story though. Let me tell you.
we came to give you good news and bad news.
Not for you though. You're gonna be fine.
Mhm.
They're not though.
We just gonna go like massacre a bunch of people.
Yep.
Did they go through with it?
Oh yes.
Oh.
Oh yes. That's one of the worst punishments of a nation
Mm.
described in the Quran is what happened with them.
Mm.
Like
Like the meteors came down.
the way Allah describes it,
Mhm.
you get terrified just reading about it.
Mm.
Like he'll talk about, oh, he destroyed the Pharaoh, he destroyed this, destruction of nations,
Mhm.
and when he gets to them, the tone changes.
Mm.
Like it's on some other level.
Mm.
Like for those of you that are interested, read like Surah Al-Qamar.
Mm.
فَكَيْفَ كَانَ عَذَابِي وَنُذُرِ.
Mhm.
Read and take note of how he's talking about each nation that ended up being annihilated, and then look at how he's talking about them differently. It's just on a different level. Anyway, so now look, and they found it strange that a warner came to them from among them. Have we read this before? They found it strange that a warner came to them from among them,
Mhm.
right? So this is the same as Surah Qaf. They found it strange that a warner came to them from among them.
Mhm.
If this was just so, that's one strange thing.
Yeah.
And if this was one strange thing, then it would have been this is a strange thing.
Mhm.
It would have been straight. This is a strange thing. But we didn't translate it like that. Oh, that's the good ice cream part. We translated it as this for sure. This is a really strange thing with three extras.
Mhm.
So if it was no extras, it would have just been this is a strange thing. Now they said this is a magician.
Mhm.
So what makes it strange? That he is a
Magician.
magician. So this is magic.
Mhm.
But then they added, no, that's not enough. Added one more. What's the added? Kadhab. He's a perpetual liar. So let me tell you why magic is strange. We're used to seeing magic where somebody pulls a rabbit out of a hat,
Yeah.
where somebody pulls a quarter out of their ear, where somebody, does whatever, levitates or whatever. His magic we've never seen before.
Mhm.
He says these words and somebody completely changes the way they sleep, the way they drink, the way they talk, the way they walk, their mission in life, their right and wrong, their personality just completely changes once they become Muslim.
Mhm.
This is some powerful magic.
Yeah.
It's got to be. So this is why they're calling him a magician.
Mhm.
Then they say, we've never seen a liar like him because they want to call him a liar, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about liars, Ahmed Mariam. If you lie to somebody
Mhm.
or somebody lies to you and they get caught,
Mhm.
right? They're a con and they got caught.
Mhm.
Do they come back and try to con the same person again, or they try to find some new sucker, somebody else to con?
Somebody else.
Somebody else. They don't come back. Like, I already know you're a liar. right?
Yeah.
If somebody was like, impersonating a salesperson and you got caught, they didn't have ID and they ran off. They're not going to come back with a new ID the next day to the same house.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't get it. When we call somebody a liar, then they run away. We call him a liar, and he comes back and he tells us something more. We call him a liar again, and he comes back even stronger. We call him a liar again, and he comes back even stronger. He's not like any liar we've ever seen. That's why they didn't call him kadhib. They called him a kadhab. Kadhab means someone who lies over and over and over again. Actually, in both of these, they look like insults, right? They're calling the Prophet a magician and a liar. But actually, inside these insults are actually compliments that they don't even realize. Magic means what the effect that the Quran has is supernatural. I don't even know how to explain it, so I'll just call it magic. So they're actually acknowledging the superpower of the Quran by calling it magic. Kadhab, because of the way that it's spelled, this is called Sighatul Mubalagha, I haven't taught you about that yet, means he lies over and over again, is actually talking about the commitment of the Prophet ﷺ and the relentless, persistent, gritty way in which he does da'wah and doesn't give up. Right? So they have to acknowledge that he doesn't quit.
Yeah.
Right? So now the first thing was he's from among them. That would have been no extra stress.
Yeah.
One added stress. That makes it that's one extra. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then kadhab makes it what? Two extra.
Yeah.
Then they add a third. They say, and he took all of our gods and made them into one. So the third thing the first thing they find strange is about the power of his message, the effect.
Yeah.
The second thing they find strange is about his commitment. The third thing they find strange is the message itself. Like, how are you taking all of these gods and erasing all of them, and we just have to have one God? I can't accept that. That's too weird. Right?
Yeah.
Three things they find extra strange. So understand, this is the first thing they found strange, that a warner came. That's strange. But there's three extras on top of that. Right? Look at the ayah. Inna, one extra.
Yeah.
La, two extra. A strange word for strange, three extras. Three things additional they found strange, and three extra expressions for the strangeness, or stressors on the strangeness were used. For sure, this is a really strange thing. Like, you study this stuff and you're like, how in the world? Would you even think about that when you're reading it? Like, it wouldn't even occur to you. It's okay, it's strange. Just like, move on.
Yeah.
Right? I'll tell you a quick story about strange, and I'll end today's session. It's a pretty epic story. One of my favorites. So ujab is, I told you, it's a strange word for strange, right?
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes in class I'll use a big word in English, and you're like, what does that mean? Right? So the same way in Arabic, some words were not as popular as other words. And some people would say, that's not even a word. Like if you've ever played Scrabble and you make a word and your opponent says, that's not a word, you made that up. And then there's a dictionary fight and you have to look it up.
Yeah.
Right? So here's the thing. A guy came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, I don't believe in the Quran.
Yeah.
The Prophet said, why? And he said, because you have these words in the Quran they're not Arabic. They're mistakes. Okay? What are the mistakes? Oh, you guys, the Arabic word for lion is asad. Asad. Yeah, lion. But the Quran uses qaswara. What is qaswara? Qaswara is another word for lion, but I ain't never heard it. Why are you calling it that?
Yeah.
Then the word for chief, or the big one, meaning the chief of the town, it's called a kabir. Kabir. Okay, the chief. Right? Or something great. Let's use the word great. Kabir is great. Quran uses kubbar. Great. I had never heard kubbar. This is not Arabic. It's a mistake. And then he says the Arabic word for strange is ajib. We did this today. Ajib, strange. But the Quran uses ujab. You know, I said it's a strange word for strange.
Yeah.
Because I had never heard the word strange. These are mistakes. How is this the best speech? It's got qaswara, kubbar, and ujab instead of asad, kabir, and ajib. The Prophet ﷺ calls Hassan ibn Thabit. Hassan wasn't there. He was the poet of the Prophet ﷺ. He said, call Hassan, please. So, somebody calls Hassan. Hassan has no idea what's going on.
Mhm.
So this man's sitting there, the Prophet's sitting there, Hassan walks in.
Mhm.
He tells Hassan, sit down. Hassan sits down. The Prophet says, get up. He gets up. Because when the Prophet says something, you do it.
Mhm.
Right? So he tells Hassan, sit down. Sits down again. Get up. Gets up again. Sit down. Get up. Sit down. Get up. Sit down. Get up. And he's going to do it because it's the Prophet.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And nobody knows what's going on. And Hassan's like, this is so strange. Can I say something?
Mm.
So he says to the Prophet, Ya Qaswarat al-Arab, Lion of the Arabs. He calls the Prophet what?
The lion.
The Lion of the Arabs. What word did he use?
Qaswara.
Ya Qaswarat al-Arab,
Mhm.
Anta Kubaruna, you're our chief.
Mhm.
إن هذا لشيء عجاب. This is a really strange thing you're doing.
Mhm.
So Hassan, who was known to be a poet and very eloquent, comes in and uses all three of these words when the Prophet ﷺ had him do this, and the guy accepts Islam.
Mm.
He's like, okay, I give up. So there's a fun story about the Prophet ﷺ. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Assalamu alaikum,
barakatuh.
guys. Remember, do your best, and I will do the rest. Quote me on make that quote like somebody print out
I'm
that
making
quote.
it a T-shirt. What
Really?
was it? What's the thing again? You can do it.
You can do it.
Right.
You're a Mercedes.
I've never heard this before.
And everybody else is a Benz.
This is
or
a
no,
quote picture right here. This like
a BMW, and under that BMW is a Corolla.
I never liked BMW.